Hello, my dears. This is CBSE Grade 10 Political Parties first session. In this session, let us see what is the meaning of political parties and the functions of political party. Whether do we need political parties or not? Okay, let us see first of all the meaning of political parties. What are political parties? What is a political party? Every day we are talking that political party, political party. So what is political party? It is nothing new to learn, my dears. Very simple. A group of people, we know very well, no? They come together. No one compels them. They come together for what? To contest elections. Why do they contest elections? To hold power in the government. Very simple. So what is political party? It's a group of people to come together to contest election and hold power in the government. Very simple. You see? Okay, that is a political party. Right. And also they agree on some policies and programs. If a group of people, if they agree some policies, they will be in one party. If they differ with some policies and programs, they will be in another party. Okay. So different political parties will have different policies and programs. The same party people will agree on some policies and programs. Okay. DMK, ADMK, BJP, Congress, like that. Okay. Right. Now, a group of people, they come together to contest elections and hold power in the government. And they agree on some policies and program is political party. Very simple. Okay. See, what are the functions of what they will do? What are the work? Since there can be different views, I told that different parties will have different policies and opinions. Okay. So, for example, Congress will be telling about secularism. BJP, it will, it is so, it's called that it supports cultural heritage. And DMK, it says that no God at all. Okay, so one party will have one programs or policy. So every party will have its own policies. The people who agree with the same policy will be going to and joining in that particular party. Since the different parties have different views, the parties try to persuade the people their parties are better than others, their policies are better than others, their programs are better than others. Okay. So that is the success of their political parties. Okay. So they'll be telling that that party has that policy, we have this policy. Our policy is better than other parties' policies. Our programs are better than other parties' programs. So, since different parties have different views, the parties try to persuade people why their policies are better than others. Why? Why they are doing this? Why they persuade people? To get election, to get vote in the election. Clear? Very simple. So, to shape public opinion and to get win in the election. Everything for the purpose of winning in election, shaping the public opinion and getting votes from the people. Very simple. So, parties, what the work they are doing? Because they have different opinions, different policies, they try to persuade their own policies and programs are better than others and get vote from the people. Okay, so they seek to implement these policies by winning popular support through elections. Parties reflect fundamental political divisions. They reflect fundamental political divisions in a society. Okay, so parties are about part of the society. So without party, no society is, no democratic society without political party. So political parties are the soul of democracy. That too now more than two political parties are very much needed for the democracy. They're part of the society. If you see around your place, around you, you could see many people belonging to this party, that party, they will be coming with that dhoti, with the shawl with of that party and this party. So one out of seven is have involved in the politics. Okay, so party is the Parties are part of the society nowadays in a democracy. That is called partisanship. Partisanship is a person who is strongly committed to a party. In your book itself, it is given, the meaning is given in your glossary. Partisan is person who is strongly committed to a party. Okay. Thus, a party is known by which part it stands for, I mean, which area, which policy, and which area, which part it stands for, which policies it supports, what are their policies and programs, and whose interest it upholds, for which group of people or entire group of people it upholds. Okay, their interest is being upholded, right? So parties are part of the society, thus it involves partisanship. It's known by which part it stands for, which policies it supports, whose interest it upholds to be specifically mentioned. Okay, right. What are the functions done by the political party? Sorry, political party has three components. Who are the members of the political party? We know very well, nothing new to learn, my dears. Everything is happening around you. If you analyze, till now you could not have been analyzed, you could not have been familiar with these words. You are familiar with the matters, but you do not know the exact vocabulary of that. Okay, now we are seeing that's all. See, political party involves leader. Leader will be the top party head. Okay, active members are like secretaries, in charges, this and that. At the in charges at the district level, in charges at the village level, panchayat level, and மகளிர் அணி செயலாளர், this and இளைஞர் அணி செயலாளர். So parties will have active members, the people, those who are leading next to the leaders. Okay, and the followers, the common people, those who are all supporting, those who are all agreeing with the policies and programs will be the other group of people. So party is very simple. It consists of leaders, active members, and followers. These three set of people will be in the party. Now let us see what are the functions of political party. See, if there is no political party, who will contest election? We have seen that group of people join together to contest election and hold power in the government, we have seen. So first and foremost function of the political party is contest elections. So how do they contest elections? Most democracies differently, they are selecting the candidates. Selection of a candidate in your previous year, I mean the 9th standard, you could have studied electoral politics. In that selection of a candidate, nomination, this and all, you could have studied what is selection of a candidate. Okay, before contesting the election, the party will select the candidate, which person has influence in that constituency, who will win the election. They will analyze, the party leader will analyze, and all people together will select the candidate. Different countries adopt different methods to select candidates. Okay, how? See, for example, in USA, members and supporters are selecting the candidate. Okay, candidates are selected by members and supporters in USA. But in India, here it is top level party leaders. Top level party leaders, I mean party leaders. Of course, party leaders choose the candidate, right? Okay. Then next function, parties put forward different policies and programs. In the definition itself, we had seen that different policies have different parties have different policies and programs. Okay, so now the second function is they put forward different policies and programs to get win in the election. They will be with the competitive nature. Then only if this party is serving the society better than the other parties, then only it can get support from the people, it can get elected in the election. So the people with a competitive nature, they try to provide the better policies and programs to the people than other parties. Okay, because of these political parties, we people are getting better policies and programs. Okay, so second function is they put forward different policies and programs. Next thing, in a democracy, large number of similar, how they are evaluating the policies and programs. For democracy, large number of similar opinions. Different opinions cannot be grouped together. We are saying that they agree on some policies and programs, then only will they will be in the same policy. Okay, if they are with different opinions, see, if they talk about secularism, they cannot be in the BJP. If they talk about cultural heritage, they cannot be in the secular Congress. Okay, so if the people have similar opinion only, if they agree on some policies and programs of that particular party only, will be in that particular party. Okay, so large number of similar opinions grouped together for what? To provide a direction. To whom they are directing? In which the policies can be formulated by the government. See, so they are guiding the government. I mean, they give direction to the government. I mean, they provide the direction to the government how, in which policies can be formulated. Okay, so large number of similar opinions grouped together to provide a direction in which policies can be formulated by the government. This is what parties do. So they put forward different policies and programs. How policies and programs are put forward? Large number of similar opinions. I mean, group of people, those who have the same opinion, similar opinion, grouped together, they help the government to frame policies and programs. Okay, they guide, they suggest. Okay. Third function of the political parties are they play a decisive role in making laws for a country. What is decisive role in making laws? They all are being consulted. All the members are being consulted. Yes, law cannot be implemented all of a sudden as if the CM or PM tells that this can be a law, this will be implemented. No, that should be debated and passed in the legislature. It has its own procedure. It has to be followed. And people also have the rights and means. I mean, rights means they have the right to follow, check whether these procedures have been followed or not. They have the means how to check RTA in India. Okay. So the laws has its own procedures to be implemented. So laws are debated and passed in the legislature. It is debated with all the members, among all the members. So all are allowed to participate in decision making. All are allowed to debate it. The plus and minus of that particular proposal will be discussed, debated, and get consent from majority of the members. Then only it will be implemented as a law. So here all the members are considered. So they are allowed to take part in the decision making. Clear? So parties play a decisive role in making laws. Clear? Then, but for unfortunately, see, since most of the in India, most of the members belong to a particular, not only in India, everywhere, most of the members belong to a party. They were in a position, they are in a position to go by the direction of the party leadership. Right? If the party leader says the member sitting in the parliament or legislative assembly, they cannot have different opinion when the proposal is being discussed. That is an unfortunate situation. Children, can you understand? Even though in the members of, I mean, MLAs and MPs are considered, they are allowed to debate and discuss about a proposal in the parliament, but they are in a position, they have to follow the opinion of the CM or PM, I mean their own party leaders. They cannot have different opinion with the party leaders. That is an unfortunate situation in many democracies. Okay, so members belong to a particular party. They go by the direction. If that party leader says that yes, you have to support this proposal, yes, all the members will be supporting that proposal. If the party leader says that no, this party should not be supported because it is proposed by the opposite party, if the ruling party, if the opposite party leader says, so the opposite party members, I mean MLAs, MPs, are in a position to oppose, disregarding their personal opinions. Even though their conscience might have told this is good policy, they feel that this is good policy, which is implemented by the ruling party. They are in a position to tell that the opinion of the leaders. Otherwise, they'll be removed from the party. That is an unwanted situation. Okay. Clear, children? Even though they are consulted and considered, they are in a position to go by the direction of the party leaders. If the party leader says, yes, you are to support this proposal, yes, all the members will be supporting. If the party leader says, no, you are not supposed to support the proposal, they will say no to that proposal, irrespective of their personal opinion. Clear, children? Okay. Now let us see the fourth function of the political parties. Parties form and run the governments. In the absence of political parties, who will run the government? That is a big thing, children. If it will be easy to look, but this is a great thing. Who is running the government? The political parties who win in the election, they form and run the government. What is form and run? After they get elected in the election, they will request the executive head, I mean the president or governor of the country, stating their, showing their winning, and they'll be proving their majority. They will request the governor or the president to appoint them as MLAs or MPs. Okay. So they will, after that, after they are appointed by the governor, if it is a state, if by the president, if it is a central government. Okay. So they'll form the government and they will run the government. Right? So the political parties, after the party which wins the election, will form and run the governments. And also, it is they're training the ministers and all other MLAs and MPs. It is a duty of the political parties. See, they recruit leaders, they select the candidate, they make the candidate win in the election, they train them and make them ministers. These are all great work, my dears, that is done by the political parties. Okay. So political parties recruit leaders, train them and make them ministers to run the government. Okay. See here you have to notice that in the way they want. Okay. That apart. Political parties form and run the governments. A great job is being done and members are being trained by the political parties. Clear? Then let us move on to the fifth function. Okay, the party which wins in the election forms and run the government. What is the role of the losing party, ma'am? Yes, losing party also has its own rule. They lose majority, but they selected, they're elected in their own by their own constituency, so they also should be given power. They also should be shared power, because even though few seats or less number of seats, they are also elected by their own people. So they are also allowed to take part in the decision making, or they are also allowed to hold power in the government. Okay, what they will be doing? The winning party is running the government. What the losing party will be doing in the assembly? They will take the role of opposition. See, children, in a democracy, the role of opposition is more important than the ruling party. Why? Only they will be criticizing the government for their failures and wrong policies. Clear, children? See, in the absence of criticism, you will not be bothering. See, I am the sole proprietor. I will be doing whatever I want. I will do this and that because I feel that. No, you should have a fear in your mind. See, opposite party is sitting in the opposite road. They will be criticizing if I do some wrong things. If my policies got failed, that will be criticized by the opposite party, and they will highlight this issue, shape public opinion. Next election, I will lose my winning. I will lose my victory. So with that fear in the mind, the ruling party will be trying to perfect themselves. They will be trying to provide the better policies to the society. Right? Now you could have understand that the role of opposition is more important than the role of ruling party. Okay, so parties play a role of opposition by criticizing the government for its failures and wrong policies, and they try to mobilize opposition to the government. The ruling party members will be trying to mobilize support for their government. The opposition party will be mobilizing opposition to the government, right? So next function is they shape public opinion. I told no, that they are criticizing the opposite party and persuading the supporting, glorifying their own party. See, my party is better, my policy is better, my programs are better. So you support my policy. In this way, our party's policies and programs are better than other parties. So to shape the public opinion, to create a good opinion in the minds of the people to get vote in the next election. So parties try to shape public opinion. They will be glorifying, they'll be what to say, appreciating their own policies, they'll be highlighting their own policies, goodness of their own policies to get better opinion, good opinion from the people, and mobilizing opposition. They'll be criticizing the opposite parties, policies and programs. They will be trying to mobilize opposition to other parties and support their own parties, highlighting their issues. See, they raise and highlight issues. If the ruling party does something wrong, they will be criticized. They will be highlighting that issue. Every meetings that will be discussed, that will be highlighted. So parties have lakhs of members and activists. They will be talking about this they will be talking about this in all the meetings, in all the meetings wherever they go, my dears. Okay, so people will be the parties shape public opinion. Okay, children. Just a minute. Party shape public opinion. Many of the pressure groups are extension of political parties. What is many of the pressure groups are extension of political parties? So pressure groups, they will form for particular cause and they will give pressure to the government to do that or not to do that. Okay, if the people are not satisfied with the laws implemented, then the people have the right to express their opinions and they have the right to demand the government, even though it is implemented, the government has to withdraw their laws. Or if the government has not yet implemented the law, if the people wanted that law, the government will implement. Clear, children? So the parties shape public opinion, right? Next, parties provide people access to government measures implemented by the government. See, children, for example, the government says that all the children will be given a loan to get educated in the private institutions. Okay, you will be given vehicle at the subsidy. One party announces. So how the people know? How the people know that it should be? It is taken, these programs and policies, such and such programs and policies, such and such programs, welfare schemes are implemented by our ruling party. You people get benefited. The members of that particular party are taking the programs and schemes, welfare schemes, to the doorsteps of the people. They're telling that, Anna, do you want education loan? Our ruling government is providing education loan. We are waiving the loan. So you get benefited. Do you get benefited? Do you have loans? Do you want loans? The government implemented the welfare schemes in such a way the political party members are taking these welfare programs and welfare schemes and programs to the doorsteps of the people, because people are unaware of the schemes and programs. Okay, and even though they are aware of it, they are not able to approach the government officials. For an ordinary citizen, here you have to see that for an ordinary citizen, it is easy to approach a party leader than a government officer. If you are supposed to get education loan, if you are supposed to get employment on the reservation, it is not easy for ordinary citizen to meet IAS, IPS officers. Okay, I mean, not sorry, IAS, IPS officers. The people, those who are executive officers, those who are in the particular department. Okay, but it is easy for them to approach the party leader. So that is why they feel close to the parties even when they do not fully trust them. So parties have to be responsive. Why parties are responsive to the needs of the people? They have to satisfy the needs of the people. They should be responsive to the needs of the people. Otherwise, they will not vote in the next election. Very simple. So why they are telling, why they are going to doorsteps to the people and conveying their welfare schemes and helping the people to get benefited? because in the next election, then only people will vote for them. Okay, this party waived my loan. This party helped me to get appointment by the scheme of reservation, by the policy of reservation, this and that. So the parties help the people to access the government machinery and welfare schemes implemented. Okay, the people, for ordinary citizen, it is easy to approach the party leader than a government officer. So the parties also to be responsive. Otherwise, people reject those parties in the next elections. Okay, children. So these are the functions done by the political parties. Let us see. Let us consolidate. The parties contest elections. They put forward different policies and programs. Parties play a decisive role in making laws. The parties form and run government if they win the election. If they lose the election, they play the role of opposition. They shape the public opinion, whether to in the positive or negative way, and they provide people access to government machinery and welfare schemes. Many schemes are implemented. How do ordinary people know? That is taken by the political party members to the people to get vote in the next election. Okay, these are the very effective functions, very much needed by the society, which is done by the political parties. Okay, okay. Political parties are necessity. Next question arises. You tell me, children, after you have seen the functions of the political parties, you could have come to the conclusion, yes, political parties are needed because they perform all these functions. In the absence of political party, who will contest election, who will frame policies and programs for the society, who will form and run the government, who will criticize the wrong policies of the government. Clear, children? Who will take a government measure, government welfare schemes to you people? So political parties are necessary. Clear, children? We need political parties because they perform all these functions. Okay. Let us imagine just a minute in a situation without political parties. What will happen? Every candidate will be independent. Nobody will be responsive to the government. Nobody is answerable individually to the, they will be individual to their own constituency. As a country whole, no one will be responsible because they're all independent. No party will get majority. You just imagine, very simple. You need not learn anything, my dears. Everything is happening around you. Okay, that is social science, my dears. So let us see. See, every candidate in elections will be independent. So no one will be promised. No one will promise. Because if I say that my constituency, I have to provide, I have to lay road, I have to bring college to my constituency, and the other party member will, other candidate will be telling them, because all are individual, no majority, no. So all other members will be telling them, no, in my constituency only college should be constructed. In my constituency only, in the government hospital should be constructed. So in such a way, no majority, no one will be able to make promises to the people. The government may be formed, but its utility will remain uncertain. No use of it. They will contest election individually, single, independent. All candidates are independent. They will contest election. They will form the government, but utility, I mean usage. What is the use of that government? Nothing. No individual can promise any policies. Okay. They are not accountable to the constituents. They will be accountable to their own constituents, only one constituency. For example, 545 constituencies are there now. Only one constituency they'll be accountable. They cannot be responsive for the whole country. So no one will be responsive for how the country will be running. Okay. So political parties are important. Many panchayat elections have been conducted based on the non-party systems, but anyway, the parties will be involved. Panchayat elections, where usually panchayat elections will be conducted based on the non-party system, but every party, I mean, put their own candidate for that panchayat election also nowadays. Although parties do not contest formally, it is generally noticed that villages get split into more than one faction. I belong to this idea, I belong to that idea. So even though there is no political parties involved in panchayat elections, people are segregated in the village. Okay, this is what exactly the parties does. That is the reason we find political parties are needed in every democracies. Political parties is very much needed in the democracies. Okay, we find political parties in almost all countries in the world, whether these countries are big or small, old or new, developed or developing. Every countries need political parties. Okay, the rise of political parties is directly linked to the emergence of representative democracies. We have two types of democracy. What is representative democracy? If the country is small and population is less, if it is possible for all the people to take part in the decision making, it is possible for all the people to go to the parliament and discuss. But if the country is large and population is more, is it possible for all of us to go to the parliament, to go to Delhi and come back to the your native place? Is it possible for all the adults those who have the voting right sit in the parliament? No, it is not possible. So what we are doing when the country is large and population is more, we authorize our representatives in the name of MLAs and MPs who are elected representatives. We authorize representatives are empowered by the people on behalf of me, because it is not possible for all the people to come to the parliament and discuss, take part in the decision making. We authorize you by electing those people, by voting and electing those representatives on behalf of all people in the constituency. Only one representative in the name of MLA and MP goes to the parliament and legislative assembly. They are discussing. Okay, so political parties are the emergence of representatives democracies. Clear, children? So as societies are large and complex, we have representative democracy. To provide that representatives, political parties had been emerged, right? Okay. They needed, so why here you have to understand, my dears, what is the connection between the representative democracy and political parties? So to supply that representatives, individual parties select the candidate, train the candidate, help the candidate to win in the election, and they form the government. So here you could have understand the political parties, the representative democracy. In the political parties, the emergence of representative democracies. Okay, so to bring various representatives together, a responsible government, then only a responsible government, because the parties should be responsive to the needs of government people. They are answerable to the people. Otherwise, if they are not responsive, if they are not satisfied the demands of the people, needs of the people are not meted out, people will not elect this party in the next election. That is why parties should be responsive. Okay, so the political parties are needed to bring various representatives together so that a responsible government could be formed. The sentence is very much important, children. You could have understood the meaning. So political parties are needed to bring various representatives like MLAs and MPs together so that a responsible government could be formed. Otherwise, as we have seen the scenario, in the absence of political parties, all will be independent candidates. No one will be responsible to the country as a whole. No policies can be implemented. No promise can be given. Okay, now you could have come to the conclusion that parties are necessary for a democracy. Okay, children, thank you. So we have seen that what are political parties? Political parties are group of people. They come together to contest, to form, agree with same policies and programs, to contest election and hold power in the government. Okay, what are the functions they do? They parties contest elections. They put forward different policies and programs. They play a decisive role in making laws. Parties form and run the government. They play the role of opposition. They shape public opinion. They provide access to the government machinery and welfare schemes. In the absence of political parties, no one will be responsible. All the candidates will be independent. They will form and run the government, but no use of it. No one will be give individual promise. No one will be accountable to the country as a whole. So we need whatever the type of country may be, they may be big or small, old or new, developed or developing, we need political parties. What is the role of political party? Endla you could have understand that. So political parties prepare the representatives and they grouped them into one party to get a responsive government. So political parties are of course needed in the democracy. Okay, thank you children. Let us see. Let us meet in the next session.